at ESPN headquarters in Bristol, and we appreciate a visit by ESPN sports anchor Randy Scott on Big Board Sports 104.5 and Team ESPN Radio. Randy, hectic day, I can tell.
Yeah, I'm only 15
3
minutes.
hours and then meetings, and we appreciate a few minutes. What's the hot button for you here in the last 3 hours of your show?
Last 3 hours has been a sort of a postmortem on Game 1 in the Western Conference Finals, looking ahead to Game 2 in the East tonight. Privately, looking ahead to Game 3 between the Caps and the Lightning tonight.
Well, I declared the Houston series over.
Over?
Yeah, over.
So you don't even have to cover it anymore.
Don't even worry about it.
So it's just done?
Done. If they can't win Game 1 at home, done.
That'll save us so much time. I'm going to pass that on.
You pass that along to your people and just tell them. I thought maybe Houston would get one last night, and then I would have felt better. But Golden State's just too good.
I can't remember the last Game 1 that had so much riding on it. You know what I mean? It just felt like Houston felt that way. The Rockets sort of owned it, certainly with what Daryl Morey had to say earlier in the season. But to work so long and so hard for home court and then to lose it so quickly on a night where just about everything worked, right? I mean, Harden goes for 41, CP3 does his thing, maybe 3 assists, you could do better than that, but you're thinking this is a game we win against everybody.
Steph Curry doesn't have a great night.
Exactly. Against everybody but that Golden State team. And, that you kind of live with letting one member offensively of that big three, because I don't put Draymond Green in that group, but you let one member get his, and you think as long as we hold everybody else in check, it just wasn't enough. Durant was the difference. It sounds like an obvious point, but...
Yeah, because you brought up your Caps, and we didn't do any of this with Trey Wingo, I've been one of those idiots that said Alex Ovechkin is just not going to win a big series. But is this the year for Washington?
I still say no, because what evidence do we have to support that? Like, none. And I look at the history of teams at this conference final stage or beyond to go up 2-0, the winning percentage to at least go to the Stanley Cup final, the winning percentage in the series, forget that, north of 90%. The Caps are going to be the exception to the rule because they have in the past in their own postseason. And I say this as a Caps fan who's just been scarred and beaten too many times. They've had 8 playoff series where they've been up 2-0. They've lost 5 of them. And 3 of them haven't gone to 7 games. Oof. One of them was to the Lightning in 2003.
They're terrific on the road this postseason, 7-1, but 3-3 at home, and obviously you take that 2-0 lead back home. So you are deeply hurt, and as you said, scarred from your past. You're not giving them any chance here.
If I were a puppy, Sarah McLachlan would be holding me in a commercial, and it's just somber music would be playing. No, I think they're winning. I don't want to say in spite of Ovechkin, but it's all 4 lines, and it's defensively. And 2 of those losses at home this season bring up the 3-3 playoff record, but 2 of them were with Philip Grubauer in net and not Holtby. Right. So this version of Braden Holtby is unlike any I've seen in the postseason since I've been watching.
Well, not as locked into it as you two might be, but I still thought that was impressive going to Tampa.
It sure was.
I mean, I've been in that building for playoff games. Yeah. Covering the spring training scene, and we go to a playoff game. That atmosphere is crazy, and the Lightning are really good. So I was impressed by what Washington has done,
especially offensively. Like they are. They're sort of. I don't know what the joke is, but they took all the Rangers retirees, right? That's what everybody does. You retire from New York to Florida, and that's what these people did. The JT Miller and the Ryan Callahan on down the line. But the way the Caps have been so disruptive in the defensive end has just been remarkable. I don't know how long it lasts. The pessimist/realist in me says it's going to probably end.
But it was sweet
tonight.
To beat Crosby, wasn't it?
So great. I was so worried though. So do you guys are you guys both on Twitter? I know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I retweet a lot.
Do you interact with opposing fans?
Sometimes.
Penguin fans are they're a special bunch. They really are.
Do you?
I do. Yeah, I made the mistake of doing it, and and I retweeted the GIF a couple times of Jon Snow in the battle of the battle. Yeah. I don't know if I can say that word.
Right.
But in the battle where it's just him facing the onslaught coming, and he just draws his sword and gets ready. Because I was of the belief that TJ Oshie's fight after the high hit that Oshie delivered was. It was worthy on Chris Letang. And they're like, well, he has a history of concussion. Then don't drop the gloves. If you're that guy, don't drop the gloves. You don't get to hide behind your medical history once you've instigated the fight. Anyway, yes, Beating Pittsburgh was amazing. My concern was everybody, myself included, was celebrating it like a Stanley Cup win.
Right. And you're not quite.
We're halfway there.
You're halfway there.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Randy Scott with us, ESPN Sports Center. We're at the headquarters here in Bristol this morning on Big Board Sports, sponsored by Thomas Field Solutions. We haven't got much to baseball with Trey. Let's get to baseball with you. We're the home of the Yankees. 104.5 a team. Yeah, all Yankee games are here. What's your thoughts about this Yankee team? Can we put them in the World Series right now? Or are we going to wait?
You know, your division's going to be tough enough to get out
Boston,
of.
right?
Yeah, Boston's not done tinkering with its roster. Certainly, Dustin Pedroia is making a rehab start. I'm not saying he's going to be a difference-making bat, maybe a difference-making presence in the clubhouse. The Yankees are. When did you become a rootable team?
I said that last year. I grew up a Braves fan.
Me too.
From New Jersey, but they're always on TBS.
Yeah.
So the 90s were painful for me, for both of us.
Yeah.
And my brother's a diehard Yankees fan. But you're right. I found myself at times last year rooting for the Yankees. And I thought, what is wrong with me? But they're fun. They're young and they're fun.
They are. I don't know that they have the pitching. So to answer the question about whether they're headed to the World Series, I don't know that they have the pitching. Sonny Gray's been a massive disappointment. Luis Severino is everything and then some that he's made out to be, but they're winning in spite of Sonny Gray. And that run of, Sabathia and Severino on down the line and cobbling it together, Germán's been a nice addition. Keeping the ERA where it is, and then Sonny Gray goes out and is tagged for 4 or 5 earned, you can pencil it in every single time. So
only if he has Romine behind plate can he do it.
Yeah. But you're right. The parallels from the early 90s Braves that at least I fell in love with are there. It's a young, talented lineup. To see what and Duhar is doing, to see what Gleyber Torres is doing. These guys should be in college by age, but they are physically ready, mentally ready. We'll see second half of the season if the pitchers catch up to them. But man, it's fun to watch. Yeah. It really is.
I think some of our listeners might be interested in knowing what is your schedule like here for Randy Scott at ESPN.
Well, we're on the first Sports Center of the day, so that's 7 a.m. I'm not going to get any sympathy from the guy who was in here before with Trey.
Trey's ready to go to take a nap. I can tell you that.
Oh, he'll go play 9 holes and then he'll go take a nap. For me, so I live up just outside Boston. So that's about it's about an hour 40 for me, to and from.
Wow.
And so for me, I get up at 1:45, and I'm on the road about 2:15, and I'm down here by 4. Excuse me. And my voice is failing. No, and we're on the air at 7. So 3 hours to write, 3 hours to TV, and watch all the highlights and get going. And then
and the staying up late to watch games, that's difficult to do for Trey as well.
Yeah.
You got to figure out, you don't get to see live as much as you would like.
The DVR catches me up a lot.
And fans will appreciate this too. I think, Randy, Roger and I do local TV, but even when you're out in Albany, people will say, you write your own scripts? So at an operation like ESPN and Sports Center, you write your own scripts?
Well, don't you want to, though?
Yes.
I am not going to be the guy who says that we write every little thing on the show. There's no way. There's a digital treatment unit. Our Sports Center studio is still new to us. It was I guess it's 4 years old this summer, but the way they utilize the space and the way they can throw graphics and different monitors and keep it moving. And so the stuff that is stats based and even the stuff that isn't, when they know what the video that they're choosing is, that is written by that group, and it's written well. And sometimes you have to translate it into your own parlance, because sometimes whichever side of the brain it is that works with stats, it doesn't communicate with the side that works with words as much. But for on cams and certainly for certain voiceover VOs and things like that, you want it in your voice. You're the one that's going to be reading it, and you don't want something sprung on you in the middle of the show, which does happen in breaking news. But if you can get a split second to just read ahead and catch it and read it so you know what you're saying is hugely important.
So we've gone from Trey Wingo to Randy Scott
you guys went
to
down.
Mike Golick Jr.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you have any suggestions on what topic we should lead with Mike Golick Jr.? Because he's right behind you. He's also sitting right across the glass from us right now.
He doesn't really have any
Careful, Randy.
on anything. His I would say The Bachelor, but you guys don't look like Bachelor guys on the TV show, so that's good. NFL Draft, he's a big fan of Quentin Nelson. I saw that yesterday.
Billions? Are you watching Billions?
I've heard Billions is good.
Billions is really good.
I am watching.
I've
watched the first episode of this season. No, I don't know, man. I'm talking to Golick. he's big on the Celts. What else?
I mean, I grew up a Notre Dame football fan, so I can do that.
Yeah, you might have
Albany
something
Lax,
to
big second-round matchup.
Top
2 face-off players
right.
of all time in the history of Division
There
I
you
Lax
go.
statistics.
Now we're on it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Now, we're gonna localize this show from Bristol. I'm gonna tell you right now with Mike Golick Jr. Randy, thanks for coming by.
Thank you guys.
We
Randy.
appreciate it.
Appreciate
Keep
it.
up the great work.